Tonight on MCO News, Abia government urges hospital workers to be more transparent. Onitsha fire outbreaks, Buhari reacts, charges Transport Ministry FRSC on road safety. Nigerian Army renames Operation Python Dance to Operation Dance for Peace. Aimba coach Abdullah happy level of MPFL competition. Good evening, welcome to MCO News. I am Ruth Ohams. Thanks for joining us. And the state government has tasked hospital workers to be more transparent, and this is in reaction to the demands made by the members and staff of various government hospitals that the salaries owed them by the state government should be paid. The statement was made by the Commissioner for Information on MCO Television's breakfast program, Good Morning Abia. The report. Some months ago, members and staff of government-owned hospitals such as General Hospital, Abia State Teaching Hospital went on strike action to protest non-payment of salaries by the state government for almost a year. This, however, was addressed by the Commissioner for Information, John Okiyikalu, who said the state government only called for accountability as each hospital generates revenue and are not free institutions or run on charity, unlike their private counterparts. He promised that government will provide infrastructure if only the government-owned hospitals will be accountable with the monies they make.
Use your money the money you are making to pay those doctors, and then we will support you with infrastructure. We delivered over 200 million naira worth of medical equipment to that institution. See, Abians want accountability from us, and we are demanding accountability from all parastatals in the state. We are saying that every parastatal must manage its affairs optimally. By law, parastatals are permitted to make revenue and use the revenue to run the operations. Where is the revenue they are making? If you are not making revenue, something is wrong with your management structure, and we are demanding that you look at it.
On the issue of the 258 members of staff of Abia State Polytechnic who were laid off, the Commissioner said government only sanitized the system, adding that whoever is aggrieved should lay their complaints.
We are asking for financial prudence at Abia State Polytechnic. We are asking the lecturers to stop sabotaging the school. A situation where you earn 250,000 to 500,000 in that school, and then you go to a private polytechnic in Aba to teach for 30,000 and 50,000, thereby reducing the operating cost, the recurrent cost of that private university, is wrong. How can a private university be charging lower school fees than a public institution? Where has that ever happened except in Abia State Polytechnic and Aba? If there is evidence of unfairness, this administration will correct it.
The Commissioner further reiterated that the state government is committed to making Abia State workers happy if only accountability and honesty will be their watchword. He said the reward of labor is payment of salary. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday expressed sadness over the death of a mother and her child in the tanker accident at Onitsha, Anambra State. Buhari called on the Ministry of Transport, the Road Safety Commission and other stakeholders to ensure safety standards are adhered to on Nigerian roads. Buhari added that safety precautions and routine maintenance are taken for granted by vehicle owners. The truck was said to have lost control and rammed into the wall of the popular Toronto Hospital at Upper Iweka before exploding. The State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Mr. Haruna Mohammed, confirmed the incident. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of new aides for the First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Aisha Mohammed. Buhari. In a statement by the Director of Information, Office of First Lady State House, Abuja, the wife of former Governor of Nasarawa State, Dr. Mairo Amlakura, has been appointed Special Assistant on African First Lady's Peace Mission. Mohammed Al-Bashir is appointed Special Assistant on Organization of African First Leaders for Development, while Wole Aboudarine is appointed Special Assistant on Non-Governmental Organizations. Barrister Ayu Abdullahi is a Special Assistant on Media and Publicity. Zainab Kazim, Special Assistant on Domestic and Social Events, and Funke Adeshian, Personal Assistant on Domestic and Social Event. The appointment, according to the statement, takes immediate effect. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved for immediate implementation additional cost-saving measures aimed at instilling financial discipline and prudence, particularly in the area of official travels. This is in a bid to curb leakages and ensure efficiency in the management of resources of government. The Director, Information Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Willie Bassey, says all ministries, departments and agencies and the aides are required to submit their daily travel plans for statutory meetings and engagement to the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation for express clearance within the first quarter of the fiscal year before implementation. And Operation Python Vance, otherwise known as Operation Egweke in Igbo language, which was launched at the wake of heightened tension in the southeast following activities of the now at-large indigenous people of Biafra IPOB on Wednesday, was rechristened Operation Atilogu, meaning Operation Dance for Peace. The army, which announced a change in the operations nomenclature through the media coordinator of the operation, Colonel Aminu Ilyasu, however, did not state the reason for the action. The operation, designated for the southeast and south-south, as stated by the Nigerian Army, will begin on the 1st of November. It is expected to address the current insecurity being experienced in the two neighboring geopolitical zones. The Army's action, newsmen said, may not be unconnected with the opposition trailing its planned relaunch of the operation in the regions considered by most citizens as peace. And Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the Food Day, an event held every 16th of October every year. The theme for 2019 is Our Actions Are Our Future. Healthy diets for a zero hunger world. MCO News speaks with medical practitioners on the essence of the World Food Day. Esther Ndukwe reports.
It's celebrated annually on 16th October across the globe to honor the establishment of the Food and Agriculture Organization to tackle hunger and poor nutrition globally. World Food Day is celebrated by many organizations concerned with food security. They include the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the World Food Programme. The day generates awareness globally for those who suffer hunger and to ensure the protection of food security and nutritious diet for all. The main focus of the day is on food as a basic and fundamental human right. Respondents who spoke to MCO News stated the dangers associated with poor nutrition.
If actually you don't take a balanced diet, then at least you have some health issues. Actually, if you lack some of those nutrients which are found in food, you can now be faced with some health conditions. If actually a baby doesn't take normal food that contains enough protein, it will lead to kwashiorkor. Then those who have don't take enough carbohydrates in baby also leads to what we call PEM, that is protein energy malnutrition. Then also those who take just a lot of fats, it can lead to obesity and the rest. Then if you lack some of the vitamin, you can have so many health conditions like beriberi, you can have scurvy, you can have rickets and the rest.
Good nutrition is pivotal to leading a very healthy lifestyle. Okay, so actually the choice of food you make okay, determines the state of your health. Actually feel today or how you feel tomorrow or in the future has something to do with the kind of food you eat.
Owing to unhealthy diets and sedentary lifestyles, obesity is increasing in developed and low-income countries. According to statistics, 670 million adults and 120 million girls and boys within age group 5 to 18 years are obese. 40 million children under 5 are overweight. Globally, around 820 million people suffer from hunger.
First, balanced diet are those diets that contain the 6 classes of food and in their right proportion. Now, when you take this food, even though they are balanced, it depends on the hygienic nature of the food. Food that are taken or which are given or which you take, which are not well prepared, at least they will cause problem to the body, even though they are balanced diet.
But if you're able to the type that actually consume a healthy diet, you protect your body from some unnecessary illnesses and so certain cancers must actually contain at least a little part of the macro and the micronutrients. So it's able to give your body the much needed resources or the much needed nutrients for the organs or your system to function better.
Owing to globalization, urbanization and income growth, diets and eating habits are changing. Healthy nutrition remains a challenge for a constantly expanding global population. Esther Ndube, MCO News.
The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Abia State, Mr. Uche Ihedua, has stressed the need for the old to mentor the young ones. He also stated that it is imperative for parents to educate and train their children in virtues that will equip them in life. Commissioner also spoke on the virtues of hard work.
We must begin to emphasize mentoring for the children. It is not sufficient to teach them physics, chemistry, biology, and then become expert at that. That child can become expert in these things in a negative way. That's why you have Yahoo. They are all very brilliant children who have devoted their brilliance into the negative way. So they need mentoring. And now, what do you have? You have a situation where the graduate doesn't get a job. So the child just wonders why do I have to do a graduate? Why don't I help kidnapping where the money is easy? So there is need to mentor our young people.
All these and more shall be heard in details on MCO TV program Frontrunners tonight at 8:30. And still to come on MCO News, Ayimba coach Abdullah happy with the level of MPFL competition. Details of these and more after the break. Please stay with us. Exit of an icon. We the entire family of His Royal Majesty Eze Godwin Ebere Ibenji of Umuwoma Village and the Ezuku Aba Ancient Kingdom about South Local Government Area Abia State cordially invite you to the burial ceremony of our son, brother, uncle, husband, father-in-law and traditional ruler, late His Royal Majesty Eze Godwin Ebere Ibenji Ezeoha II of Ezuku Aba Ancient Kingdom, aged 55. Burial arrangement Thursday, 14 November 2019, 3 p.m. Lying State at his palace, 4 p.m. Service of Psalms by St. Philip's Anglican Church, Ezuku Aba, 6 p.m. till dawn, praise night. Friday, 15th November 2019, 10 a.m. funeral service at St. Philip's Anglican Church, Ezuku Aba. 12 noon interment follows after service at his residence. Saturday, 16th November 2019, 10 a.m. traditional rites, condolence continues. Sunday, 17th November 2019, at St. Philip's Anglican Church, Ezuku Aba. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen. Signed, Prince Godwin Jr. Ibenji, Mr. Eze N. Ibenji, Honorable Chijoke Ibenji, for the family. Jesus born
Gone too soon, with deep sense of sorrow but with total submission to the will of God Almighty, we the family of Ezenwa Promise announce the sudden death of our beloved wife, mother, daughter and sister, late Mrs. Antonia Chinyere Ezenwa, whose death occurred on August 6, 2019 after a brief illness. She was aged 47. Burial arrangement, Friday 18th October 2019, 8 a.m., Babalu St. Francis Mortuary, Aba, to her husband's compound, Umumbo Umweme Ibu West, Autonomous Community Owaza, Okwa West, Abia State. 9 a.m., funeral service by Chapel of Answers International, Aba. 11 a.m., interment follows thereafter. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Signed, Honorable Promise, Ezenwa. Shake your hand. She's waiting now.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say what did man go do for this world where people no go talk? If you chop,
do not urinate in public places.
You no chop, then go talk. What did make you do for this world? I say make we go do the things where we carry for heart. Now so one time. I be not been so.
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Welcome back, and get still on to MCL News. We shall be joining our Omaha studios where Njetachi Chukwaja is already standing by for more news. Good evening, Njetachi.
And welcome to Omaha. The Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu has charged the newly sworn-in commissioners to make good use of their office to bring about the desired goals of his administration. He warned that his administration will not tolerate excuses for failure. As such, will be visited with a replacement. The governor stated this at the swearing-in of the new Abia State Council, the new Executive Council held at the International Conference Center, Omaha. Nara Okafor reports.
Governor Okezie Ikpeazu reminded the commissioners that their new assignment is a call to serve, noting that their very best is demanded in the state at this very critical time. The governor explained that they are expected to play a very strategic role as his administration is in a hurry to achieve a mandate given to them by the people and must run on a fast lane. Ikpeazu enjoined them to mobilize the workforce at their respective ministries and foster synergy amongst their ministries to ensure unity.
It is service and you may not need to be conducted, so you find you lacking.
Speaking on behalf of the commissioners, Ahamuko, Commissioner for Finance, appreciated the governor for finding them worthy and assured that as a people of probity, character and dedication to duty, they will show integrity in the discharge of their assignments. He added that their presence will add speed to achieving his administration's objectives. Chimobi OBCK will man the Ministry of Special Duties. John Okoro joins projects. Mrs. Ojo Lovett Ademoha, Culture and Tourism. Cosmos Ndugwe, Trade and Commerce, while Obada Theophilus Odenyemfe will be in charge of housing. Onyema Wachuku, Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Development. Bob Ogu, Works. Godwin Onyendilefu, Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Emeka Ikwagu is in charge of Youth, Sports and Social Development. BK Kalu Duma will be in charge of Budget and Planning. Ekele Wammo, Transportation. Mrs. Okachi Constance Amala, Women Affairs. Prince Ezekwesili, Cooperatives and Rural Development, while Solomon Obunji will man Environment. Ibnechuku Onoha, Petroleum and Solid Minerals Development. Prince Okoli Daniel Ihanacho, Homeland Security. Suleiman Okando, Lands and Survey. Dr. Ahamoko, Finance. Chijioke Madumere, Science and Technology. And KC Wangwa, Education. Mrs. Owama Olewengwa, Industry. Dr. Joe Osuji, Health. Adema Wabuko will be in charge of public utilities. Laura Okafo, MCL News.
The Abia State House of Assembly has presented her legislative blueprint for the 2019-2023 legislative year. The Speaker of the House, Chinedum Orji, said the roadmap draws inspiration from the 6th House with a bid on to delivering dividends of democracy to the people. Again, Nora Okafor tells us more.
Presenting the blueprint, the Speaker of the House said the 7th Assembly will be proactive and reactive to people's opinions, tackle unemployment and revenue leakages, among others. He said the lawmakers desire to build a house that responds to citizens' demands for effective representation and promote efficiency and effectiveness of the local government system. The Speaker said the House will work to improve its internal operations to enhance legislative business by strengthening and re-engineering the committees for effective running. He explained that the leadership of the committees must reflect experience, while the House will not tolerate nonchalance on the part of the leaders to assignments.
The 7th House of Assembly will improve its internal operation and processing the term of enhancing legislative business.
Chinedum Orji noted that the lawmakers will ensure regular training and retraining of staff of the Assembly. He explained that the House oversight functions will not be taken for granted to ensure that government programs and laws are implemented, as well as stop corruption in governance. Monitoring and evaluation of projects, he said, will be monitored and must ensure that its powers are not misused in any way.
7th House of Assembly shall be committed to proper funding, improved staffing, and more efficient running of committees. The appointment of the leadership and membership of the committee will reflect experience, professionalism, capacity of members. There shall be strict adherence to time limit for delivery of all of the committees.
The blueprint also revealed that the lawmakers will establish an information center and a library for effective information dissemination. Nora Okafor, MCL News.
Residents of Umuahia have lamented the high level of youth unemployment, which they say is a major cause of poverty in Nigeria. This comes as MCR News sampled opinions as Nigeria joins the rest of the global community to mark this year's International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. International Day for the Eradication of Poverty is celebrated annually on 17th October. Correspondent Precious Ozibo reports that the theme for this year's event is acting together to empower children, their families and communities to end poverty. Here's our report.
Poverty exists when people lack the means to satisfy their basic needs. These needs include feeding, clothing, and shelter. Most times it is caused by lack of employment, poor health conditions, and low academic qualification. The 2018 World Bank ranking of poverty-ridden countries shows that Nigeria has the largest extreme poverty population in the world. The report shows that more than 88.9 million Nigerians live in extreme poverty. This is the focal point of the observation of this National Day for the Eradication of Poverty celebrated annually on the 17th of October. The day aims at acknowledging the effort and struggle of people living in poverty to alleviate their sufferings. The day aims at acknowledging the effort and struggle of people living in poverty to alleviate their sufferings. Respondents who spoke to MCL News explained that poverty is mostly caused by youth unemployment, corruption, low self-determination, lack of social amenities, among other causes. Respondents also said that to eradicate poverty, Nigerians must work towards being job creators and engaging in agriculture. The occasion of this National Day of the Eradication of Poverty is the right time to call on people to work together for the eradication of poverty, which the United Nations believe is paramount for the achievement of all sustainable development goals. Precious Ozibo, MCL News.
Thank you, Njitati Chukwuaja. Now talking sports. Enyimba coach Usman Abdullah has dismissed suggestions that his side is under pressure to defend their Nigeria Professional Football League title. Junaji reports.
Enyimba won their 8th record title last season after seeing off stiff competition from the likes of Rangers, Lobi Stars and Pillars. The new Nigeria football season is expected to kick off on the 3rd of November, and the Aba Giants are the favourites once more. Abdullah, however, claimed that his side is happy with the challenge and the competition in the league, but refuted claims that they are under pressure to win the title again. The 8-time MPFL champions will take on Nasarawa United on March Day 1 in the fixtures released by the league management company LMC. Meanwhile, the pioneer chairman of the league management company LMC, Nduka Irabo, has opened up on several challenges facing the Nigeria Professional Football League MPFL. Irabo said one of the problems facing the league is lack of money from broadcast rights. He charged the club owners and government to provide good facilities in their stadium. Irabo urged them to follow the directives of the league management body on the improvement of players' welfare. Nigeria's Gold Eaglets defeated South Korea 4-2 in a pre-tournament tune-up in Brazil. A brace from Eagles forward Olakunle Olusegun and 1 goal each for Divine Nwachukwu and Charles Etim sealed a good win for the team ahead of the World Cup. Nigeria will kickstart its campaign for a record extending 6th title in Brazil against Hungary on October 26. The Eagles are in Group B alongside Hungary, Ecuador and Australia. Super Eagles goalkeeper Francis Ozoho is entitled to 20,548 euros compensation from World Football Body FIFA. This is after sustaining an injury in the international friendly between Nigeria and Brazil in Singapore on Sunday. Ozoho, who twisted his leg as he went for the ball from a corner kick, will be out for a minimum of 6 months. According to FIFA's protection rule, the football ruling body will be responsible for Ozoho's wages for the entirety of the time he will be out of action. This is part of the compensation scheme to clubs whose players suffered injury during the international break. In boxing, American boxer Patrick Day has died as a result of the traumatic brain injury he suffered during his fight on Saturday. He was knocked down by Charles Conwell in the 10th round. Day, 27, had been in a coma for 4 days following his defeat. In spite of having emergency brain surgery at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, doctors were unable to save the junior middleweight. Day was rushed to the hospital on a stretcher after Conwell landed a flurry of punches that left him motionless on the canvas. Jonah Oche, MCL News.
And that is the side of our news package for tonight. But before we go, a recap of our main stories. The state government has tasked hospital workers to be more transparent, and this is in reaction to the demands made by members of staff of various government hospitals and the salaries owed them by the state government should be paid. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday expressed sadness over the death of a mother and her child in the tanker accident at Onitsha, Anambra State. Operation Python Vans, otherwise known as Operation Igweke in Igbo language, which was launched at the wake of heightened tension in the southeast following activities of the now outlawed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, was on Wednesday rechristened Operation Atilogu, meaning Operation Dance for Peace. And in the weather sports, we brought you a report that the home-based senior men national team, the Super Eagles B, have intensified preparation for Saturday's second leg of the 2020 African Nations Championship qualifying battle with the Sparrow Hawks of Togo in Lagos. And that was news. Thanks for sharing your time with us, but do join us at 11 p.m. for our news update. Up next is Apokowa. I am Ruth Wilhelms. Good night.